So who are you?
I'm Michael Langer, founder, CEO, StuffBuff.
Yeah. And what is StuffBuff? Because I've been getting a preview here, but tell my audience what they do.
I like to say that if a young and sexy Twitter got together with an older and more established eBay, then StuffBuff would be their love child. But
so you do auctions like eBay used to?
We do extreme auctions. So we do fast auctions that are fun, and eBay did, but when eBay started, it was back in 1995, and it's been a lot of time. You know, people have started Friendster, and it's replaced by MySpace, and you know, people have shared markets, but the online auction market has been pretty much saturated by eBay.
And you haven't seen a whole lot of innovation.
Very little. It's like I said, it's a perpetual state of version 1 point something. So we're trying to come out with the 2.0, maybe even 3.0 of online auctions.
So two things caught my eye right away. One was the real-timeness of it and the widgetness of it. In other words, if I was a camera store, I could put this widget on my website or on my blog, or I could Twitter it, I could Facebook it.
Right, as you come up either with something new, something rare, or just something you want to get rid of, you can take this widget and you can actually place it on your blog or on a camera enthusiast blog, or tweet it to your friends and people who care about it.
Yeah.
And you're bringing the right products to the right people at the right time, and people don't have to go searching around for something that's disinteresting to them. So
yeah, and so first of all, you have a really nice cataloging feature here, so you can use a scanner or a mobile phone to scan your inventory, basically.
That's right. We have those tools among other tools that are coming out that'll let you scan things very easily, so you can create a whole inventory and collection of all the things you have, and then this way they're ready to sell. So you can use your webcam to scan barcodes. You can quickly take images. We have very easy manual search too. So if you just want to go ahead and type something in, it's very easy to bring it all together, and you don't have to put it for sale until you're ready.
Yeah. One thing that caught my eye right away was the real-timeness of it, and the real time is really hot. I was just talking with investor Ron Conway, and he's really focusing on ways to use real-time and invest in companies. You're an early stage company, so we should put that disclaimer. You're not a.
That's right.
You don't have 100 engineers building out a lot of technology, right?
Well, our engineers are like 100 engineers, but but the truth is that we're not. We're using cutting edge technologies. This is the first. One of the first products using adaptive payments from PayPal, but it's also.
And that's why we're at the PayPal conference.
Which is we're here, and additionally, what it's using is a technology that's a real-time AJAX Push engine.
Yeah.
We're the first company using it, developed overseas.
What's that engine called?
It's called APE.
APE?
Yeah, APE. It's an AJAX Push engine, and what that does is it allows real time. So instead of it's a faster version of long polling.
So if I'm a camera store and I have a lens, let's say, that's not selling, and I have 20 of them, I need to get rid of them, I can scan that in, put it on screen, I can Twitter it to my followers, I can email my mailing list.
Right, but in addition to links, instead of just directing people as a read-only type of auction, you can paste it in a blog where that auction type chat room, which is how we communicate on these auctions, are actually embedded and ready to go. So it's not like they have to come back to StuffBuff in order to communicate. You know, things we found at YouTube, you know, you can watch a million videos on YouTube without ever having to go there, just by going to a blog and seeing an embedded video. There's really no reason why people can't do the same with e-commerce.
So let's say Rocky and I want this lens. We can chat with you live?
Yes, you can chat live, ask questions. Everybody can see the chat so that there's complete transparency. You're not answering the same question 100 times.
Yeah.
And for sellers and buyers and us, if there are any disputes, it's very clear as to what was said. There's no back channel emails that are really relevant here, because everything is taking place visually in front of you. So
let's say I bid $300 for this lens, and then Rocky bids $290 or $301.
You'll see everybody's going to see in real time at the top of the widget right here. You can see that it's going to have somebody the latest name with the latest. It's going to blink as the price changes. Everybody's going to see it, and you can continue to communicate. And there's the flip clock is going to tell you as time runs out.
So it's a timed auction.
It's a timed auction.
The camera store would say you have 3 hours to bid on this.
You have 3 hours. You have 5 minutes. You have 1 minute, depending on how in demand you want to create, and how many people you can create a private auction. So you can set the auction for the future. So if you want to set the auction to start at 6 p.m. on Monday, because that's when everybody knows about it, you can publicize it, tweet about it, get everybody ready for it, and you can even send out reminders. You can even set a request for something that's not available yet. So if there's some camera lens that you're looking for, and it's either new or unavailable or hard to find, you can create an alert, and it won't only just alert you when an auction's starting, but it'll alert you as soon as an item is put into inventory. So you can start following that person.
So let's say we end up at a price of $301, because that's what Rocky wants to pay, and the auction ends. How does the sale happen? What happens, and who gets fees, and how does the fees get?
The fees are set up where we about half the price, setting up an auction and as a final value of what eBay would be, and what would happen is everybody who lost would get a little drop down saying on the screen a little message that they're not the winner, and with a little link pointing them perhaps to another similar item, and the winner is going to get a link. They can click the PayPal screen, and it's going to show them a running list of who they're paying. So they're paying us, and they're paying the seller. So what happens is although they're paying, if they won $300, $300 is what they're going to pay, but they can also see that we're getting a small piece of the fee, and there's transparency there. And what
one of the things just announced here at the PayPal X conference, which is in early November, was pricing for this new API.
Right.
What's the pricing? Do you remember that?
The pricing for
the PayPal piece.
The PayPal piece.
What are all the fees?
Loaded down to 50 cents, I believe, was what I heard, or 75 cents.
So $300, and there'll be 50 cents added on.
Well, that does not come. That comes out of the buyer side. So that's that fee is from there. But as far as what we charge, we're keeping it very simple. We looked at eBay, and they have 15 pages of fees that you have to go through and kind of understand with graphs and slide rules and God knows what else. But we keep it simple. There's a same price all around. You have a price to start the auction, there's a price to set a reserve, and then there's the final value. So it's 3 steps.
Have you announced those prices yet, or
because
you're going into private beta?
Right, and we'll be simulated in the private beta. So for the first 2 weeks, but just during that time, we're keeping the pricing simulated at 50 cents to start an auction, $1.50 for a reserve, and then final value fee of 5%.
So pretty affordable. And then PayPal takes its 50 cents or whatever.
Right, and then
is it just flat 50 cents, or is there a percentage at all?
I didn't get all the new data yet.
Okay, we're going to ask the PayPal.
Yeah,
people
we're going to
about
find out. I got to find out myself. So yesterday was
a lot of
hectic,
news here.
A lot of things. Yeah, definitely a lot going on. There's a lot of great stuff.
Okay. And how does this new API from PayPal let you do this new kind of closing of the auction?
Right, because PayPal, the new adaptive payments lets you do chain payments, so we can pay out to several people. So eventually, if 4 of us were selling, we all owned a camera or whatever it may be together, we'll be able to set up an auction on StuffBuff that'll allow you to finish the auction, and each person would split the fees equally and get paid equally.
Interesting.
So that would be allowed, and plus I don't have to collect fees separately and take a credit card from the seller in order to necessarily get paid.
Very cool.
So although we may do it for verification purposes, but
very
security.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about your company. It's early stage.
Yes.
It's self-funded right now. Are you looking for funding?
Yes.
Okay.
We're looking for funding. Mainly we have a lot of, we've developed a lot and we've gotten pretty far thus far, but we have a pipeline of unbelievable products with really great ideas that for auctions. We're going to be starting early on. It doesn't require extra to do a charity version of the auctions. So if you have stuff you just want to give away, so instead of just giving it away to people or giving it away on a different site, there are several sites for that. You can just put the auction and direct the money using PayPal straight to your favorite charity, Make-A-Wish Foundation, whatever it may be. That's interesting, and we're going to have set months for each charity.
Does this show shipping charges as well?
So with shipping charges, yes, we're keeping that too simple.
Yeah.
So if we're using the item to identify if it's a book or CD, we'll try to push it towards a media mail, so it's a fixed price. It's easy to understand. We're also using flat rate shipping, and since we're cataloging the items in advance, we're pre-populating the information of the weight, the size, the dimensions, so we already know what fits in what box and what the price should be. Zip codes won't be a factor because it's flat rate, things like that. If people want to set up additional shipping options, there'll be ways to do that later. But we want to keep it as clean and as simple early on as possible with this little hardship.
How many people are involved in the company at this point?
There's 3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Well, if you count that, sometimes 4. Yeah. So.
And are you going to do a mobile version?
Yes, we're working on not only mobile version of the, well, it's a must. So a mobile version of StuffBuff is definitely in the works, as well as a mobile version for the cataloging. So we have something we're developing in order to catalog. If you had a bookshelf, you could snap a picture of your bookshelf and then tag, just touch a book, type in the name, it'll autocomplete, and then just touch the next one, and you can just have a picture of your bookshelf, touch any book you want, and that'll show you the actual book that's there, what's the item, is it selling, is it not. So we have a lot of really cool, neat stuff coming up.
That's interesting, because in a camera store or stores, you have a shelf of all sorts of different products,
right.
And you could just take one
just
picture.
Walk down the shelf like you eventually, hopefully, well, that's a little bit further, which we wanted to do sort of like an augmented reality type thing. But I think that's a little bit, 6 to 10 months down the line. But if you were walking down an aisle, you can just find great stuff, touch an item, see what it is, see what it's doing, and then, or just a static picture. So if you see a picture of, my room, if I go to your house and I see, you had great equipment, and I watched a Super Bowl and I wanted to go home, and I went to Robert's house and I go ahead and I see speakers, I can touch the speakers or click on the speakers and actually see what you have, if it's selling. So there's a lot of cool options like that.
Very cool. Cool stuff. Where do I find more?
Go to StuffBuff.com.
Yeah, it's STUFF.
STUFF,
Yeah.
And it's going to be ready.
And you're on Twitter?
We are on Twitter at StuffBuff as well. And we're on Facebook, also StuffBuff. So
very cool.
Easy to find.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.